Well, welcome to Watkins Glen in New York State, in the United States of America. We're going to take a quick paddock walk before tomorrow's Sahlens 6 Hours of the Glen. To start with, this pole position setting Oreca 07 Gibson from Core Autosport, their first ever overall pole position, put there on pole by Colin Brown. And humbling the DPIs for once. Good news, it seems, for the P2 cars. They are very much on the pace here. Great grid of GT and prototype cars, including this pair of Porsche 911 RSRs. Two cars made their way here from the Le Mans 24 Hours just a couple of weeks ago. Again, these cars looking pretty close to the pace. Ford dominating at the moment in terms of the overall pace, but it's pretty close behind them. Three awnings, three different classes, because just across the way we've got the number 36 Acura NSX GT3. This is the CJ Wilson racing car, a 36 car. Team, of course, stepping up to GTD for the first time this year, and with plenty of ambition beyond that. Mark Miller until Bechtelsheimer aboard the beautifully, I guess, leaf green you'd call it, 36 NSX. Another of the GTD cars next door, another familiar team that's been around this paddock and others for quite some time. This is the number 44 Audi from Magnus Racing. The Andrew Davis helmet on top there, John Potter at the back of the garage, team owner, Andrew about to get aboard the car. Team that enjoys their racing thoroughly. Across the way, second on the grid, another P2 car, and it's the very familiar colours to Denny Sports Car readers of United Autosports. Paul Di Resta putting in a fantastic lap in a Ligier JSP 217 with the Gibson engine P2 car, 6 thousandths of a second off pole position, and with a mistake on his fastest lap that could have actually seen that going their way. Awning just going down for the evening. Across the way, Performance Tech here with their Oreca. The awning just going down, by the way, on the Visit Florida Racing, on the Spirit of Daytona team, and their Dallara Cadillac DPI, one of several cars with patriotic liveries this weekend. Here's another patriotic for, of course, Italy, the 51 Ferrari. Negri is on the squad with this car. Very Italian colours for the AF Corsa Run effort. Beautiful looking car. Next door, it's a team that have had their problems this week, and not for the first time. This is Mazda Team Yost with the two utterly gorgeous Soul Red RT24P DPI prototypes with the 2 litre Skyactiv engine. René Rast is at the back of the garage there. It was René that had a mighty big off in practice this morning, and this is the car, the 77, in the process of being put back together. Big damage to the suspension. Max Angelelli, Gordon Taylor go by. PR1 FS Dallara, Ligier, the 52 car. More P2 cars there. So particularly suspension and bodywork damage to the Mazda. That car will be, though, ready for the race. Then very different looks to 4 Oreca chassis, the 2 JDC Miller cars, the Banana Boat car. Simon Trummer right up there in qualifying and practice, and the Gainsco car, the number 99 car. So JDC Miller stepping up to a 2-car effort this year. And across the way, well, this is the big name addition to the IMSA Paddock this year, the Acura Team Penske effort. And again, these 2 cars, the best of the DPIs in qualifying, they'll form up the second row for tomorrow's race. Looking something like 100-degree heat here. It's pretty close to that already today, but soaring temperatures beyond that. Nissan engine Ligiers, DPIs from Tequila Patron ESM next up. And looking quick, but also have had a few problems People Durrani stopping off track, bring out some yellow flags which prevented that pole battle from going as far as perhaps the United Autosports would like to have gone. Already closed up for the night, by the way, over there. The Konica Minolta team, the number 10 Dallara Cadillac DPI. Title winners, of course, previous years. And another title winning squad with the Dallara chassis Cadillac engined efforts are the Action Express team. And both their cars getting a lot of fettling. The number 31 Whelan Engineering sponsored car, and closer to us, number 5, David Chavez making his debut in the car. Next car, one of the DPIs featuring, well, a celebratory, patriotic livery of what is the weekend before 4th of July, Independence Day, of course, in the United States. David Chavez with his first outing with Action Express. I'm looking forward to that. We're wandered by the IMSA Technical Centre because it's just half of the paddock. Plenty more to see. The IMSA trailer getting ready for the festivities tomorrow. American flag being furled, I'm sure ready for service tomorrow. One of the on-grid celebrations. First up is going to be the Paul Miller Racing Team with their Lamborghini, the number 48 Huracan. A more subtle commemorative livery with the stars and stripes, as you can see on the front of the 48 car and on the flanks too. Pretty car, the Huracan. The 48. And there's a number of the GTD teams down this side of the paddock. Next up is the Mayor Shank Racing. Two NSX GT3s are buttoned up for the night. Across the way, well, home heroes Corvette Racing with their pair of bellowing C7Rs Corvettes. Just announced they'll be putting in a single car entry for the WEC in Shanghai this year. It's stepping aside as it's coming here. Very pretty accurate NSX road car. Designed and built here in the United States. Two Riley Motorsport entered Mercedes MG GT3s. 33 car unfortunately covered up for the night, but that is in full stars and stripes livery. The Sun Energy 1 number 75 car. And next door, the monoplast by Land Motorsport Audi. Looked very much like this car was going to set pole position time in class, but that was torn away right at the end of the session. A little bit out of sorts in terms of the overall pace. The two BMW Team RLL BMW M8 GTEs. You can see the bodywork, the front bodywork is off the cars. You can also see that both cars are wearing their stars and stripes with pride. You take as well, and you just see over there on the two hoods, you've got its Maple Leaf Canada Day tomorrow as well. Turner Motorsport across there, and their BMW M6 GT3. Marcus Partella rejoining the team here. They're buttoned up for the night, and P1 Motorsport's just about to do the same with their Andy Blackmore liveried AMG GT3. Fantastic colour scheme on that car. Brilliantly done by Andy. One of the most hardest working blokes in motorsport. Pole setter in GTD, by the way, was this car. This is the Lexus RCF GT3. Again with some added stars and stripes. Jack Hawksworth, very British ex-IndyCar man, was the man that pulled it out the bag right at the very end of the session. Scuderia Corsa and a pair of Ferrari 488 GT3s, the WeatherTech liveried car on the left, the 63, the 64. They're more traditionally Ferrari red engine car. Art and the effective Acura factory team. A bit of cooling grease in this fan, I hope. Ryan Eversley amongst the drivers for this team, and trying to put in as many races this year as they possibly can with this effort, staffed by a crew from the plant that builds the NSX road cars. A similar way to Synchro Motorsports in the UK. This is the Wright Motorsport crew, their number 58 Porsche for Robert Renauer, Patrick Long, and of course Christina Nielsen, double GTD champion. And there's Pat just stepping out. The unmistakable flame-haired Pat Long. Last car for now. It's been a pretty quick fire run through the paddock. It's the number 73 Park Place Motorsports Porsche, the 911 GT3R. There is the 73, another car that was in some trouble earlier. It was a brush with the 73. Probably the 77. We saw it earlier being repaired with the Mazda Team Yost crew. 73 is the car to the rear. This is 71 from their GT3 Challenge effort. 73 back together again. That car will be out tomorrow. Well, the sun is beginning to go down. That will be a blessed relief after what's been a baking hot day. Paddock is quiet because we're coming to the end of the Continental Tires Sports Car Championship race just over to my right. So you can possibly hear voices of Shea Adam, John Hindhoff and Jeremy Shaw calling that race. For now, we'll say goodnight. Tune in to IMSA Radio and to whatever broadcast station you can find, because the 6 hours of the Glen, Sahlens 6 Hours of the Glen, here at Watkins Glen, in beautiful New York State, as the Land Audi fires up to my right, it's going to be one to savour. Good night.